Good afternoon, you're so much welcome for our news here at Sararights TV. I am Florence. Here we bring you the top stories covering things that are going around us. We begin with the top stories. Buganda mourns King Oyo, calls him Kabaka's younger brother. Zambian opposition leader detained by police over treason allegations. Nearly 470 killed in Nepal floods. Here are the main stories. Buganda Kingdom has mourned the death of King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru, with Katikiro Charles Peter Mainja describing the late Tororo monarch as the younger brother of Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II. In condolence message issued on Friday morning, Katikiro Mainja said the Kabaka was saddened and shocked by the passing of his younger brother. Mainja said the two kingdoms have shared a close relationship since the formation of the Kingdom of Tororo in 1830s, with members of the respective royal families supporting one another over generations. He recalled that when Oyo ascended the Tororo throne at the age of 3 in 1995, the Kabaka of Buganda was among those named as his guidance. Katikiro Mainja said Oyo's death was a major loss to the people of Toro because of his plan for preserving the kingdom's heritage and improving the welfare of his subjects. The Katikiro urged the people of Toro to remain united as they mourn their king. Oyo died on Thursday, August 27, 2026, at age of 34, bringing to an end a reign that lasted nearly 31 years. He was born on 16th of April 1992. Oyo became Omukaba of Toro in 1995 at the age of 3 following the death of his father, Omukama Patrick David Matthew Kaboyo Olimtiri, on August 26, 1995. Oyo's death came exactly 31 years and 1 day after the death of his father. Buganda's Princess Katrina Sarah also paid tribute to Oyo on behalf of the royal family, describing him as a national figure who grew in his role as monarch in the public eye. She said Oyo defended Toro's culture and tradition while working to promote peace and development in the Kingdom of Toro. In another sad story, several people have been injured following chaos at a venue in Mubende district where they had traveled from across the country to participate in the National Primary School Ball Games and Special Needs Education Championship. The incident reportedly occurred as pupils lined up for supper, with some of those injured rushed to Mubende Regional Referral Hospital for treatment. Speaking to media at the hospital, some of the injured pupils alleged that security personnel attempted to disperse them before what they described as sound of gunfire triggered panic and stampede. However, they claim that security personnel fired live ammunition has not been independently verified. Hoima City Sports Officer Haruna Arinda expressed dissatisfaction with the organization of the event, describing the incident as one of the worst experiences his team had encountered at a national school competition. Aranda said the feeding arrangement had previously allowed individual teams or schools to serve their players separately, but that the system had since changed, with all pupils being served at the same time. He also questioned the leadership of Uganda Primary School Sports Association, calling for greater accountability over the welfare of participating pupils. Aranda said more than 5 pupils from Hoima City were among those injured and expressed concern information that some could be unable to continue participating in the championship. Meanwhile, Mayunge District Chairperson Augustine Adupe condemned what he described as the use of force to disperse the pupils. Adupe attributed the incident partially to the centralized feeding arrangement, adding that bringing large numbers of pupils together at a single serving point creates congestion and increases the risk of disorder. He said some of the injured pupils could miss the remaining games because of the severity of their injuries. Access to the hospital emergency ward was restricted as medical teams attended to the injured pupils. Parents of the some injured pupils told me that their children reportedly hearing what they described as the sound of gunfire as security personnel attempted to disperse them during the chaos. The claim has not been independently verified. Red Cross ambulance continued transporting injured pupils to the hospital while some were taken for X-ray examination. Mubende Assistant Resident District Commissioner Sarah Lukomera said the injured pupils had received medical attention at the hospital. Lukomera said security authorities were investigating the circumstances surrounding the incidents. Parents and teachers have condemned the incident, with some parents seen crying at the hospital as they waited for updates on the condition of their children. The circumstances that triggered the chaos, the exact number of pupils injured, and whether security personnel used live ammunition remain under investigation. In international news, Reuters Zambian opposition leader and National Reconciliation Party for Unity Brian Mundubile in black coat and striped blue shirt, white shirt Reuters. Brian Mundubile, who had gone into hiding after disputing the recent presidential election result, has been detained over allegation of treason. The day after the vote, security forces rented a property in the capital Lusaka linked to Mundubile killing former cabinet minister and arresting a number of other politicians. The opposition leaders running mate Mukebi Zulu was also taken into police custody on Thursday. The pair had taken refuge with the United Nations in the capital after security forces killed a former cabinet minister and arrested a number of politicians in a raid. They were detained after the president put pressure on the United Nations to hand him over. The opposition was unable to mount a legal challenge to the election outcome as the courts were sealed off by the authorities on Monday, the final day that a case could be filed. Opposition candidate Brian Mundubile was unable to mount a legal challenge to the presidential election result. The official results from the 13th August poll showed that incumbent President Hichilema won with 60% share of the vote compared to Mundubile's 38%. For a second term on 1st of September. In another sad story, international news, at least 100 people have died and at least 1,500 people remain missing across Nepal. The devastating Botekosi flood struck the mountain Nepal-Tibet border region, with some of the worst damage in Nepal's Rishawa district immediately south of the Chinese border. Television images showed collapsed homes, floating cars and metal bridges being washed away, while witnesses say the water engulfed entire villages. Search and rescue teams have been wading through the region looking for victims and missing people, but efforts have been proven challenging since Many roads and bridges have also been damaged due to the flood. According to Nepalese police, the death toll from the flood as of Friday morning rose to 469 people. At least 3 people have also died in the neighboring Tibet region. As the death tolls continue to rise, the Post also reported on Friday that authorities in Nepal are working on solutions to bury unidentified bodies by assigning a tag number to each body, which will retain burial information. As of Friday morning, more than 1,500 people were missing in Nepal and China's Tibet region. Apart from Nepal nation, Nepal's Department of Tourism said on Thursday night that 668 tourists from 34 countries had been out of the contact since Wednesday morning, most of them on trekking expansion. Among them, at least 177 are from India, 90 from United States, and 34 from Australia, 33 from United Kingdom, and 25 from Canada. Beijing Foreign Ministry also said 100 Chinese nationals were among the missing in Nepal. That is all we have for you this afternoon. Before I conclude, let's have the recap of the top stories. Uganda mourns King Oyo, calls him Kabaka's younger brother. Zambian opposition leader detained by police over treason allegation. Lastly, nearly 470 killed in Nepali floods. Thank you for being with Sararights TV. You can keep watching us from all our social media platforms. You can get us in Facebook, in YouTube, in TikTok. Even we have our official website, www.sararightstv.com. I am Florence. Thank you for